Ever wondered how Russia manages to keep its economy afloat despite facing intense international sanctions and geopolitical pressures? The secrets behind the resilience of the Russian economy lie in a mix of strategic resource management, governmental control, and international alliances. Sanctions have dramatically reshaped the Russian economy, making it more reliant on government spending while denting its long-term prospects. Despite these pressures, the economy has not collapsed, nor has it pressured Russia to end its activities in Ukraine. One of the keys to this resilience is Russia's strategic response to these economic penalties. The sanctions imposed on Russia have been severe, including the freezing of $300 billion in central bank assets, bans on transporting Russian crude oil unless sold at a capped price, and restrictions on technological exports. Additionally, thousands of Russian individuals, companies, and ships have been targeted. However, these measures have not been as crippling as intended, largely due to the partial scope of the sanctions and Russia's preparatory measures. Russia's ability to circumvent sanctions has been bolstered by its strong trade relationship with countries not participating in the sanctioned regime. China, Russia's largest trading partner, has significantly increased its import of Russian oil and gas, mitigating the impact of Western sanctions. Countries like Turkey, India, and the United Arab Emirates have also played pivotal roles as intermediaries, allowing Russia to continue importing essential technological products and exporting oil. These relationships have been crucial in maintaining the flow of goods and services essential for the Russian economy. The strategic alignment with these countries helps Russia to soften the blow of sanctions, keeping its trade channels open and its economy somewhat insulated from Western pressures. Russia was somewhat prepared for the impact of sanctions due to its previous experiences and strategic economic policies. With low levels of sovereign debt, a large current account surplus, and a substantial national wealth fund, Russia had a buffer to absorb some of the sanctions shocks. The government imposed strict capital controls, restricting the outflow of money and stabilizing the ruble and the financial system. Furthermore, Russia has increased government spending significantly. After the onset of the Ukraine conflict, the government boosted state pensions, subsidies, and payments to soldiers and their families. Public sector employees received raises, and military spending surged. This state-driven economic stimulus has been critical in maintaining economic stability and supporting wage growth. Russia's economy is heavily reliant on the export of natural resources, such as oil, gas, and minerals, rather than manufactured goods. This reliance has been both a strength and a weakness. While sanctions have hit the manufacturing sector hard, the impact has been less severe because Russia does not depend heavily on exporting manufactured products to the West. This structure has allowed the country to weather the sanctions more effectively. However, the sanctions have restricted Russia's access to advanced technologies, particularly in transportation, communication, and digital innovation. This technological gap poses long-term challenges for the Russian economy, potentially stifling growth and modernization efforts. The term military Keynesianism describes Russia's approach to economic management under sanctions. By significantly ramping up military spending, the government has kept the economy buoyant. Military expenditure now accounts for a substantial portion of Russia's GDP, providing jobs and stimulating economic activity. This approach, while effective in the short term, bears a resemblance to the old Soviet economic model, which was characterized by inefficiency and stagnation. This heavy reliance on government spending, particularly in the military sector, has helped stabilize the economy and maintain public support. However, it has also increased the state's role in the economy, making it less dynamic and more vulnerable to future economic shifts. While Russia has managed to mitigate the immediate impacts of sanctions through strategic spending and international alliances, the long-term outlook remains uncertain. The economy's dependence on raw material exports and government spending makes it vulnerable to global market fluctuations and international inefficiencies. Additionally, the lack of access to advanced technologies and investment from Western companies limits Russia's potential for innovation and growth. Despite these challenges, Russia's leadership appears committed to its current path. The economic resilience displayed so far has strengthened rather than weakened the government's control over the economy. This control has allowed Russia to maintain a semblance of stability, even as it navigates a complex and evolving geopolitical landscape.